we got to jump right into this because this is big news right here. I almost fell out of my chair earlier. If you haven't seen it, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 coming soon. Now first let's watch the trailer and then we'll talk about it. Because this looks, well, this looks really awesome. Of course, the 2020 trailer looked really awesome. What stream settings do I have on? Oh, I have normal latency? That's a problem. All right, so there's a lot to talk about here, and there's a lot more than just this trailer, but I wanted to start here. There's a couple things that jump out at me about this, and if my audio, let me know how my audio sounds, by the way, please. And I apologize, I forgot to change the latency to low, so you're gonna hear this, like, I'm gonna see all your chat. You're gonna hear what I'm saying late, but you'll get the idea. So there's a couple things that jump out at me. Number one, it's obviously new flight simulator coming out in 24. Last one came out in 2020, so it's been about, we'll call it 4 years. What's interesting to me is, my biggest question is what's different? Because all right, the fires, like, I guess you could call this like emergencies, like that's new, I think. That's new. That's a minor feature if you ask me. Like this wildfire thing, like that's cool. But like, these aircraft, like the helicopter rescue thing is already a thing in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. And I know that because Dryson, who streams over on Twitch, does like helicopter rescues all the time. It's part of the software, like the helicopter comes with those missions and you can do those things in there. So like that's already in the simulator, right? The oil rig thing, I mean, the helicopters exist. I don't know if the missions are new or the oil rigs don't exist. Like air ambulance, like these just seem like new aircrafts, like more than like fundamentally different. This is obviously a cutscene. There's no way it looks like this. But I mean, these are all things that exist. I mean, the skydiving thing, maybe there's not a skydiving plane where people jump out of the airplane. I'm just not sure, like the Beluga already exists. We have already seen this. This is from AnyBuilds, isn't it? So I guess I'm just curious what exactly is different. And T-Whip says, I wonder what the performance will be like. Yes, let's jump into, we'll come back to the trailer in a minute. So first of all, because I know all of you were thinking Flight Sim Battle Pass, exactly. Actually, it is. Gary, it doesn't seem that different. So far, yeah, I agree. We don't know very much about it. Yeah, the Dune thingy is coming, like, great. I can't tell you how many times I've heard people say, you know what this simulator really needs? That weird plane from Dune. That's really what my heart has been wishing for. I mean, this will come out for Microsoft Flight Simulator currently. It's coming out in November, I believe, is what I saw. But they have new modes. So the new modes, I guess, are different. IGN is saying that we're going to have new modes. We're going to have the search and rescue, hot air balloon trips, aerial firefighting, and more. And I guess to my point earlier, maybe these things existed already as third-party add-ons, but now they're going to be part of the simulator itself. Flight Bard. I hope this is just some kind of expansion. Yeah, it sounds like it's going to be like, you know how FSX went, like FSX to Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 was like a major gargantuan jump. This, so far, and I got to emphasize the word so far, feels like a very much a minor update, like more modes. Here's more of that Dune expansion where you can fly the Dune plane. Cool. November. So there you go. Will the release of 2024, with the release of 2024, will the support for 2020 slowly decrease? I would imagine so. I mean, you would think that's the case. I assume this is the video that we already saw. Yeah, so we already saw this video. The Dune thing. Yeah, excuse me, it's a helicopter from Dune, not an actual, not an airplane. Yeah, so you've got industrial cargo transport. Again, the Beluga already existed, did it not? Or was that for X-Plane? Maybe I'm misremembering that. I just remember that was a big deal. Hot air balloon trips, there have been add-on hot air balloons already. I mean, it sounds like so far, the missions are really what seems to be the biggest difference there. But I agree with Sadeo. I had no idea. Like, I mean, the fact that there's an expansion that's to this point seems really cool. I don't know. It's exciting. Like, I saw it, I was like, oh man, it's gonna be like. But so far, all it is new modes, like expansion modes. And of course, Microsoft Flight Simulator is targeting people who don't fly on that. It's not that they don't care. The point of this expansion so far, based on what we know, is really. I'm gonna mute this. Is really based on. Here's the helicopter from Dune. Seems to be more like for people who fly offline. So the Xbox crowd who, don't fly on VATSIM, don't fly on a network. They're just looking to find some other reason to fly. And going from point A to point B, which of course is the heart of the game, is one thing. But I think they're trying to add some more things out there. Where'd you see the Battle Pass information? This looks like 2020 with new game modes. Yeah, so far, T-Whip, I agree. Now, listen, they could announce next week, next month, a whole new other feature set that's coming. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked to see that. And that would make a little more sense. I mean, ultimately, they're calling it, I think the problem so far is they're calling it Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, but it's more like Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020.1 or something like that, right? It's an iterative update. It's not a fundamentally like, wow, this is a new game. In the same way that FS98 to, Century of Flight to FSX, like those were bigger deals, so to speak. Let's see. I'm trying to see where if the price or anything like that. Oh, it's just kidding. It's not like a Battle Pass. Yeah. Well, they do offer it on Battle Pass or on Xbox Pass, excuse me. Or is that the same thing? So yeah, it looks like at the Xbox Showcase, this is where this was announced. But I wonder, like, under the hood. All right, this is pretty funny. So this is Simpsons meme when Homer or the whole family, like everybody in Springfield, gets sucked into this cult, and it's like a kind of play on the Mormons, and the leader of the cult, like, he's like, they're having him build a spaceship, and it's really just this bike, and it's all the money that he stole from them. Yeah. Anyway, I do appreciate a good Simpsons reference. Look, so far, that's what it sounds like. I'm just watching this video to see if this is any. Is the same video we've been seeing? Yeah. So. Yeah, I don't know. So far, it just seems like it's a lot. What's the difference between these two? Better engine, better optimization? Mr. Dabo, good question. No idea. The only information that we know so far is that it's going to have a couple new game modes. Rescue mode, helicopter, search and rescue, hot air balloon trips, aerial firefighting, and more. So thus far, I'll keep this tab open for later. It seems like it's purely based on in-game modes, like more rather than point A to point B flying, more of a impetus, if you will, to be able to do more than that. I guess. I mean, again, the and more is probably the key words here, because obviously, so we're talking 2024. Let's be realistic about this. When's this going to come out in 2024? Not in January. When did it come out? The original one came out like in summer, spring, fall, right? When did Microsoft Flight Simulator come out? Not that one. Yeah, August 18th, 2020. So, realistically, I don't think we're expecting this in the first half. I mean, I don't know. My guess would be, let's just use August 2024. We're talking another year and some change away from that. Nate thinks my Discord group thinks it's updates to FS 2020. Yeah, I think it's going to be more. I mean, they're calling it Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. So they're absolutely, they're not mincing words here. They're absolutely calling it a new version of Microsoft Flight Simulator. But to your point, Nate, I don't think thus far this is going to be like, you know, a major overhaul to the sim compared to what it was from FSX to 2020. Again, that could change. Maybe next month they're going to say, hey, by the way, also, we're going to do a whole new engine. Now, you would think something significant like that would be announced today. Like, if you're going to announce an update to a piece of software, whether it's a game, development software, productivity software, whatever, you think you're going to start with your biggest piece of the pie, right? The most compelling thing that you could think of, right? Which would be a game engine update. And thus far, that doesn't seem to be the case. Seems to be more modes to use. So I'm not really sure what else, you know, there could be there. I mean, listen, there could very well be more updates there. Let me see if we switch over here. Because this is also happening sort of in real time right now at the Xbox Showcase. So here's someone, so PC, whoever, oh, this is Xbox. I don't know if this is a real account or like an official account. So this account tweeted, same skies, all new Flight Simulator, new missions, and a new way to play. Cool. Someone asked, sequel, not an update to MFS 2020? And this guy replied, that's right, a brand new sequel. Which, of course, the first thing I thought of when they announced this, I saw this like, great. All the airplanes and scenery that I finally got working correctly, and it's the bugs have been erased, now we're all going to go back to square one again. And like, when will the PMDG be compatible again? When will the Phoenix be compatible again? Yeah, 2up says it's an entirely new game, been confirmed. Someone else asked, how about everything we've bought for MFS 2020 will it carry over? Which that is a big. So this is, now listen, if you've done flight sim for a couple of years at least, going back before MFS, you know, with X-Plane, with P3D, when there are new updates, when there's a new sim, whether it's P3D, what, you know, 3 point whatever, or X-Plane 11 to 10 to 11, 11 to 12, you're paying for new updates again. Maybe you get an upgrade fee as opposed to paying full price, but that wallet is going to be burning a hole in it. Zero Deposit says, I'm really concerned about potential system requirements. You still need top-level PC to run 2020 on high to max settings. I agree on that, Zero to Pilot. Now listen, there's two ways to look at it. One, I think your point is well taken. Two, listen, this was announced during the Xbox showcase. Xbox being the key word here. So performance-wise, it can't exceed what the Xbox can do. Now, if you're flying on a pretty low range machine to begin with, I mean, okay, I think that's still an issue with MFS 2020, let alone 2024. But they can't outperform, like the game can't be outdone by the Xbox, or the other way around, if you know what I mean. Watch, there'll be like 5,000 CTDs. Dude, when MFS 2020 first came out, that was all the game did, was crash to desktop. Like, I remember unplugging anything in USB or plugging in a new device would crash into desktop. Yeah, so I don't know, but it's kind of interesting. Anyway, going back to the updates, I mean, it'd be great if it all carried over. If it's just because if you want to look at it you know, it's just new modes and it's the same exact engine, one would think that all your aircraft and sceneries and add-ons would automatically work with 2024, but I'd be pretty surprised if that's the case. I fully expect to have to start paying for new things out there, because just this is how the flight sim industry works. It's always been that case. Did anyone respond to this one? No. Okay. Will there be a discount? Probably not. But why? Someone said, where are the 10 years of support we were promised? Was that ever a promise? I mean, people on Twitter are pretty dumb, so I'm not necessarily saying this is exactly what it is. MSFS shouldn't be treated like a Madden game. I mean, to be fair, the original came out in 2020, August 2020. This will be sometime in 24. You know, 4 years is pretty normal, right? It doesn't make sense for them. They might lose people. I'm not sure. I mean, listen, here's the way to look at it, or one way to look at it. And I'm not saying you're right or wrong, Nate. I'm just giving you devil's advocate here. I think it's safe to say, I think we can all agree that today, in June 2023, Microsoft Flight Simulator is the predominant flight simulator out there. Numbers-wise, it has to be heads and shoulders above P3D, X-Plane, any other simulator out there, period, and it's not even close. This isn't like P3D and X-Plane before MFS came out, where you can make an argument over which sim was more popular. I don't think there's any argument that Microsoft Flight Simulator is the most popular one out there. So there's two reasons I can think of to push the envelope and offer a new version. One, yes, to make money. By selling a 24 version, you can now reap, it's going to cost people money to upgrade from 2020 and 24. They're going to make more money on it. Two, they're going to be able to, optics-wise, it looks better rather than calling a game 2020. You can't be, you know, when you're saying, oh, I'm going to go play a game from 2020, it sounds kind of, from a marketing perspective, it doesn't really work. Hey, Knight, is it 2030 already? Yes. Nate, might just go back to X-Plane 11, 12 if that's the case. Maybe you're different than me, Nate. Like, I had 11, and I bought 12. I bought the Flight Factor upgrade, and that's it. Like, I haven't spent another dime on X-Plane. And there's two reasons I won't go back to X-Plane, or at least I'll be hesitant to go back to X-Plane. One, I'd have to spend a lot more money anyway to go reinvest in new sceneries and updates and all that. And two, and I would argue even more importantly than the money, is there's no auto gen, and it looks awful by default. You know, like no ortho, that kind of thing. Coming to Xbox 26, is that Garcia? Are you like joking like there'll be a new version in 26 also? Or are you saying that because this version is coming in 24, or so they say? I'm trying to remember now. With Microsoft Flight Simulator first announced 2020, wasn't there like an original date and then they delayed it and then it came out later? Or was that PMDG I'm thinking about? Either case. I don't know. Let's see what else they got here. That's the end of that comment thread. The Dune expansion. Look, I get it. Somebody's making some money in the back room over there, you know, on Microsoft's side, right? So Dune, the connection. They did this with Maverick, Top Gun. I'm going to say at least Top Gun made some sense. I don't think anybody, I don't want to say nobody cares, but nobody cares about the Dune expansion. Sorry, I'm sure I saw Dune 1. I thought it was a fine film, part 1 movie. But like, I don't know. I don't think it really matters, quite frankly. That was MFS? Yeah, Eamon, do you remember what date? Wasn't there like a date initially and then there was a delayed date? Like, wasn't it 2020? I don't remember. Flybard says, I wonder if this is targeted to Xbox to make it more game-like for console users. I think there's absolute truth to that, Flybard. And the reason why I say that is because this was announced during Xbox Showcase. Not E3, not some other gaming conference. OCG Coopers, can I get an opinion on this? Do you want to share your opinion? Sure, you don't have to ask to share an opinion. But thus far, and again, I emphasize thus far because I don't want to sit here and, you know, berate something because there very well could be more update. I'm sure we're going to get more information between now and launch date. But so far, this does not seem like a significant major update to the simulator So far, it seems like it is, in fact, that's what they've shown only so far, are new modes. And I will not play 1 second of the new modes because I don't care about those modes. The reason I play a Microsoft Flight Simulator, I think most of you, if not all of you in the chat, do as well, is to fly primarily on a network, or at least to do A to B, replicate real world ops for at least airliners or even GA, like helicopters, hot air balloons, air rescue, air ambulance. If your name isn't Dryson, I think it's like something you might do once in a blue moon just to mix it up, but it's not the end all be all. Now let's go back to what Flightbard said. I wonder if this is targeted at Xbox to make it more game-like for console users. 100%. Xbox represents, I am sure, if you were to count all the copies of Microsoft Flight Simulator in the world, there's no doubt in my mind that Xbox users are by and large the bigger number because they're the bigger user base to begin with, and it's included with Game Pass, so it has to be. So I think that for those reasons, this is a minor update, and it's really geared towards Xbox users rather than the diehard I fly the PMDG 737 kind of people. Could be wrong on that, but that's my take so far. Nate says, what will PMDG do? Oh, they'll be counting the dollars, Nate. I mean, to their credit, they're going to have to update the software to be compatible with 24. They will sell it to us, and everybody, not just PMDG, they'll all do this. Phoenix will do this. Aerosoft will do this. We're all going to have to pay an upgrade fee to make it compatible with 24. Cooper says, I think we should get a discount for people who already own it. I'd agree on that. They had MFS 2020 as a guinea pig, so we're the guinea pigs to help them make MFS 24. Oh, I'm sure, Coopers, that at some point, the this GIF, by the way, is like perfect. I just noticed I stopped on, not intentional. Anyway, I have no doubt that Asobo, who of course develops Microsoft Flight Simulator for Microsoft, absolutely had this. They had to have had a not a timeline, a roadmap for all of this. CP, what's up, man? It seems like a whole new simulator application, though. I mean, it's definitely a new game. Like, it's going to be like a whole new... You're absolutely right, CP. But so far, all they've announced are new modes. And listen, they very well could announce, like, tomorrow or next month or 6 months from now, by the way, there's a whole new engine coming with it. But all we have so far is new modes, new gaming modes. And the fact that it was announced during the Xbox showcase, to me, points possibly in that direction. But as we know, CP, no doubt, we're being scammed. Cooper says, but I think the mods would be fun, like for emergency, that stuff is fun. I agree. I mean, listen, there are people that will find that fun. I am not here to tell you all that I think, because what I think you all should think. I don't care for the gaming modes. I never, like, when the helicopter, there are helicopters that have gaming modes in them with missions already. You can do this today in Microsoft Flight Simulator. With the, I forget which I think it's the Airbus helicopter, but I'm not sure on that. Anyway, the point is you can do these things already. They're just going to be now baked into the sim as opposed to being third-party add-ons. Nice says, if it's not an update to 2020, I think it's my worst ever $120 investment on MS Asobo 10-year promise. Did they say that? Like, sorry, I'm not saying you're wrong. I just questioned that because someone else pointed that out. Was there ever a 10-year promise? And if so, I mean, they very well could still upgrade, provide updates for 2020. P3D sales model all over again? Oh, absolutely, CP. Yeah, no, there's no doubt. Let me put it this way. I think it's safe to say you're all going to be repaying for the PMDG, the Phoenix, the simulator, Fly Tampa, sceneries. I mean, it's just going to be the thing. Oh, the A400M is the Airbus. I think it's stupid. I agree with you. It's not my thing. Some people enjoy it. Good for them. I'm just not one of those people. I think the mods would be fun, like for the emergency stuff. Yeah, I mean, some people do enjoy that. I am not one of those people, but yes, I agree. So I can't find any original release date. All I know is based on my research is delayed it and they gave early access to a certain amount of people. Yeah, I seem to recall that, Eamon, but I'm honestly not sure when the original release date was or anything like that. Zero to Pilot says, well, what I think, to be honest, that by the time they announce the new generation of consoles will be expected already. Ooh, that could be a good point. I hadn't thought about that. Yeah, how old is the Xbox at this point, right? They can't declare the Sim 2024 will work on the next-gen consoles because they were not announced yet. However, it's a high chance the new hardware will be required to open 100% potential of a new game. That could be true. CP says, absolutely scammed all over again. Oh, absolutely. You know that he's behind this. By the way, CP, he's not in the chat. This is daylight hours. He's absolutely at Asobo headquarters right now. You know it, right? He's coming up with his marketing plan as we speak. Yeah, the H145. Yeah. There was let's see, it was there. I believe you guys. I just don't. Microsoft. Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, 10 years. Well, there's an article here. Oh, no, it's just a forum. Lars did say that MFS 2020 would be a 10-year supported commitment from the team. Meaning, that's about a third into the supported life cycle. So remember, support and supporting, let's assume this guy's right. I have no idea. Let's assume for a second that there's a 10 years life cycle to support. That just means they're going to make sure the game continues to operate, that they'll release updates like patches and fixes and, you know, address bugs. It does not mean they can't continue to develop the software. We see this all the time. And if you're in software development, you can see this all the time where you have, you know, as an example, I'll use, I don't know if anyone here's a programmer. PHP is a great example of this, right? There's PHP 7, PHP 8, PHP 10. But, you know, PHP 8 is still supported, even though PHP 10 is in active development. There's a difference between support and active development. And I think maybe that's where you're starting to confuse the two right there. Did Microsoft say that they were going to support VATSIM, but there's absolutely no support inside the engine? Yes. I think what they basically alluded to, Mr. Dabup, is, I could be wrong on this. My reading of that was that simply the simulator was going to have a opening, a means of which for VATSIM to work, rather than a baked. They can't do a baked-in like piece of support for that, because I think if they did that, they would they'd run into a problem with I mean, talk about noobs. My goodness, right? Someone deleted the post with the link to the article about being support for 10 years. I think it's like Train Sim 2020. Every year they change the name. I think there might be some truth to that. Maybe you have to remember we had, you know, FSX and then we went to 2020. So like that was like a 13-year gap. I'm not sure that Microsoft necessarily wanted to go in that direction. They would have envisioned it taking quite that long, which is why the Asobo is now here and doing that thing. By the way, have you guys ever watched the Asobo updates on Twitch when they talk about the life cycle and like the roadmap and new features and all that? Like at the beginning, when Microsoft Flight Simulator was first being announced and hadn't been released yet, all the developers from the Asobo team, they were like, "Yeah, this is great. This is exciting." And if you watch them now, they're like, they're so dejected. They've been run through the ringer. You know, the flight sim nerds have absolutely been berating them for now 3 years. And so when you hear them talk about it, they're like, "Yeah, we are working on a new update, and we think it's going to be really, really great. Yeah, it's going to address that other thing, but we're not going to add any of those other things you wanted in there." Everything is like that. Let's see here. Am I at the top of the... Okay. There's a new article. Let's see what Gaming Bolt has here. Air-based career paths, and it's slated for. So this reminds me a lot of Madden as well, and a lot of other games where they have like a career mode, which, to be fair, is kind of a big deal. I mean, it's not if you're like me and you've used the simulator purely for online playing, and you don't care about a single player mode, then it doesn't matter. But I think we're in the minority. Blah, blah, blah. It's Microsoft 2024, but released on PC, Xbox, Series X and S, which means players on Xbox One won't be able to play the new title. New features include career modes, aerial firefighter, search and rescue, helicopter, cargo transport, air ambulance, agriculture, aviation, mountain rescue, skydiving, aviation, aerial construction, and industrial cargo transportation, among others. Yeah, this is really, whoever said train simulator, this is definitely going down that road. These new career modes will likely feature some sort of progression system allowing players to move forward in their careers. That's it. All right. So basically, there is not much more information out there. Interesting. All right, well, so far, the things that they haven't announced that I would have liked to have seen or was looking for: new graphics, new gaming engine, new rendering, new something that makes the game look fundamentally different than 2020, which was admittedly incredibly impressive. I don't know what that would be. Plato, I'm late to the arrival. What's the consensus so far? I don't care much about the career mission stuff. Me as well. I just hope it's a great platform for developers. It doesn't break existing stuff too bad. I think it's going to be. Let me address this for you, Plato. I think, based on what we know today, and this could change. What we know today, it is going to be a minor update to 2020 with new modes that you won't care about, but will, like you said, be a new platform. It'll continue the play. It is more of a continuation than a radically new platform, if that makes sense. Now, that being said, Plato, I would be shocked if we do not have to pay for updates to add-ons we already own today. Nate says they need an airliner career. That I agree with. That would be more interesting. Hey, Dryson. Biggest surprise in a while for me. Did you see the Dune expansion video as well? We did, yeah. So we watched that a little earlier. Dryson, I was talking about you. I was like, the only person that I thought about when this was announced was you, because you love those mission modes. Dryson, which helicopter today has the missions? Is it just one helicopter, or do you have an add-on that adds the missions to all helicopters that you own? If you guys don't know, Dryson streams on Twitch. He's a great streamer, and he loves the helicopter modes. And I've seen him do this a number of times where he'll go and be like, all right, we're gonna rescue a car accident victim on the highway. And he'll take his helicopter, fly out to some highway in LA, land, talk about Nomad Aviator, pick up the dead guy, and bring him to the hospital. Plautus is definitely more interested in seeing what comes out of FS Expo now. Yeah, I would keep I know that Microsoft is going, Plato, but I would still keep my expectations extremely low. I'm hoping they're using the latest world environment for Black Shark. That would be nice. Knight says, well, I'm sticking in 2020 if it's a whole new title. Thanks for showing this. Yeah, of course. You're very welcome. Thanks for joining in here, Knight. I appreciate you being here. So based on the article, it will be a new game with some graphic updates, but all they add was carrier options. I don't even know that. Amen. I don't even know that it's graphic updates. So far, it is purely a career mode with new modes like rescue and stuff like that. Plata says, oh, it will definitely break stuff and require updates. I just hope it's more along the lines of X-Men 11 and 12. Yeah, I would hope so as well. Yes. So the H145, okay, it's the high performance group expansion pack. So it only works for their heli. Got it. Okay, so to Dryson's point, Dryson, can I show, is it okay if I show one of your videos from Twitch, like a recording, to give an example? Because you can already do this today in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. Now, granted, you have to get the H145, so there's that. But they're basically taking this idea and integrating it into the entire sim. The trees did look really nice. What's up, Hustler? Yeah, I mean, the big thing was the graphics on the ground looked nice, but I would also point out, number one, I'm not sure if some of the stuff, let's go back to the video. I'm not sure if some of these things are cutscenes or if they're, like this is a great example. Now, I've seen Dryson do this. Usually when he does it, he lands and then the helicopter falls over because he didn't do it exactly. Okay, let me switch. I gotta find it. You haven't done it in a little while. You've been flying real airplanes lately. Videos. You guys don't follow, make sure you follow Dryson. Let's see here. Yeah, you're flying real airplanes. It seems like for a while, all you were doing was... all you were doing was helicopters for a while. All right, here you go.
Woohoo! In your face, Milwaukee!
Eamon, thanks for the follow, buddy. Let's see if I can find this. All right, I'll leave your audio out of it, Dryson. Let me see if I can find it, a rescue. So here, this is in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. The beautiful gentleman you see in the left corner is indeed Swedish. He's available, ladies, if you're looking for somebody who can fly a helicopter extremely well. All right, so here, hold on, you already landed. Let me back it up a smidge. So this is what it looks like today. And you can get this right now. Now, granted, there's no career mode, right, Dryson? Like you can't like you did 10 rescues, now you're a lieutenant or something. And I don't know what Dryson's rendering options are, but that still looks pretty good. There is one where you do one of these landings, Dryson, you fell down the side of a mountain. Yeah, I agree with Nate, because some trailers can be pre-rendered. Yeah, absolutely. Is this the rescue, or is this the one where you're just landing and you're messing around? Single and ready to mingle. There's one where's the one where you rescue the highway? Those are the best ones. I think you're just doing landings here. Hold on, there's a better example. Sorry. Is this one it? No, this is when you come back to the airport. Maybe this isn't the video I'm thinking about. Oh, here it is. LAFD Air Ops. Okay. Just create missions. Yeah, that's what I thought, Dryson. All right, let's see if we can find... so this one, he creates missions. And let me see if I can find the screen where he shows it. Probably in the beginning. It's pretty cool. I mean, you just select, you know, I want to go rescue so-and-so. Fly through the... Let's see. I'm trying to find the part where he gets, like, the crash site or something. There it is. So there's a fire right there. Oops, back it up a smidge. Now, granted, the graphics look way better in the... So the fire is over here in the center of your screen. In the new one... I mean, it's just so impressive they can generate that. I'm going to wait for him to get a little closer. So you can see the fire there. Versus here... I don't know if they have this screenshot of the fire, but it's just graphics wise, you know, it's less of a hack and more of an integrated thing. There it is, a little bit more. I think he already dropped the... Yeah, so you can see right there, like, so there's the guy. I mean, this is pretty impressive. So you can still, this is an MFS 2020, so this is the basic idea. And then you get to, you know, now it's going to be part of the game mode. Anyway, my point is that this sort of exists already. Granted, it's going to be more expanded and more of a career mode. And to Dryce's point, it's just you know, one-off missions. There's no progression to it. So anyway, check out Dryson on Twitch if you guys haven't seen it already. So we'll watch the trailer one more time. Some of you guys haven't seen it yet. Oh, somebody broke the internet. We're good. Next generation. So there's the fire. Look at that. I mean, no offense to Dryson, but like that looks like a fire as opposed to like some, you know, orange stuff coming out of the thing there. No worries, Justin. What's up, man? Is there an air ambulance plane you can purchase right now? Maybe there's a freeware one, but is there an actual air ambulance like add-on for Microsoft Flight Simulator currently? Like something like this? I mean, I'm sure one has to exist, right? This looks like is this the Cessna Caravan? Because it's not a de Havilland, right? De Havilland would have two engines. Why do the trees look so satisfying? Mr. Simpson, is this a whole new standalone title or will be an upgradable version? It sounds like it's a standalone title, but the feature set does not appear to be that dramatically different than 2020, if that makes sense. So it's a little of column A, a little column B. I mean, it's gonna be a new title. We don't know yet. Does it cost extra? All we know is it has a career mode, and that's about it. Dry says, I wonder how High Performance Group feels now they'll announce last week they're releasing the Super Tanker on top of the 740. Yeah, I mean, listen, at the end, hopefully for them, they'll get a little more interested in it in the short term and make some money now. Yeah, totally a caravan. That's what I thought. Crop dusting, not just for the school hallway anymore. Now you can do it in the simulator. Plotto says, I'm cautiously optimistic. I'm not unoptimistic. I'm not like poo-pooing it, but when I first heard Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, I thought, holy moly, we're getting a new sim altogether, akin to when we got Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 out, like graphics. That was the first thing I thought about, was how much better is it going to look? So maybe my expectations were too high, and that's on me, but I don't know. Mr. Simpson says, I'm interesting, not thrilled about having to re-download, but I'm down for seasons, more advanced weather, and mission integration. Anything on native shared cockpit, that'd be sweet. Now, literally, all we know, I'll come back to this video in a second. All we know is this. A bunch of new modes are coming to Microsoft Flight Simulator, including search and rescue, hot air balloon trips, aerial firefighting, and more. There's new modes is all that we know about currently. What happened to the... Oh, there it is. Like, hold on, two things. This is the Honda Jet, right? This already exists in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Currently today, the Honda Jet, right? Am I wrong on that? That's not the Honda Jet. And two, I mean, the A10 looks pretty cool. Not that I care about doing military ops personally. What was the other plane? There was some other plane that I saw. Well, this is the Beechcraft. Oh, Vision Jet. Same thing, Plotto. It's the same airplane I'm not flying. Okay, my point is, the Vision Jet exists for Microsoft Flight Simulator already, right? Sorry, Vision Jet, Honda Jet, it's the same thing. Hello World says, and the most loyal partner at PMDG has even launched the most wanted plane ever. Yeah, for Xbox, yeah. Honda Jet has 2 turbines that appear to be small. Ah, okay. Shows how much I know about the Honda Jet versus the Vision Jet versus the whatever. Yeah, I mean, look, it's, if you want to be optimistic, if you want the glasses half full, here's how to look at it. They just announced 2024, so new title coming out, and we have a lot of time, more than a year between now and launch, theoretically. Actually, I'm assuming more than a year. I have no idea. We've been assuming that since 2020 came out in August 2020, that 24 will come out in August 2024. But there is a significant amount of time for more features, more updates to come out. And as somebody else pointed out in the chat, maybe a new Xbox coming out. And when the new Xbox comes out, they'll also mention, by the way, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 will support higher graphics, blah, 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 which could point to better graphics and whatnot. Aviation Blazes, looks like there will be seasons as well. Wasn't, maybe I missed that part. Oh, actually, no, that was in the Vision Jet part, right? Where is it? I know exactly what you're talking about. It's where they showed the plane and the things changed around it. Where was that? I forgot. Hold on. I'll keep this on mute so I can walk through this quickly. But the I mean, there's ample time for more features to be announced, and that this could be more than just a glorified update. Yeah, the Beluga, this 100% already exists also. This is indie builds. Does the Beluga, sorry, is the Beluga for X-Plane and not this and Microsoft Flight Simulator? Am I wrong on that? It exists in some capacity, right? After the A10? Thank you. A10's coming up, I believe. Gliders already exist. Come on, get to the seasons. I mean, seasons exist currently. All right, after the A10. Yeah, this part. Yeah. You're right. So, good call on that night. The thing with the seasons, though, this already exists, doesn't it? I mean, winter exists. Like, you can, if you fly somewhere where there's been snow recently, you'll see snow on the ground. Beluga's for X-Plane only. Okay. So, I think going back to Knight's point, 100% Indie Builds is working on the Beluga for Microsoft Flight Simulator. Yeah, thank you guys. I appreciate that. If I don't fly it, my knowledge of this, which sim it's for, and the plane is vastly under represented for sure. But I think it's going to be my take on it is, at the very least, this will be it's a new title, but it's going to be more like X-Plane 11 to X-Plane 12 than FSX to Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. Seasons exist, but it's an add-on? Is it really? Seasons is pretty much snow and summer only. That's a good point, Mr. Simpson. Didn't they announce that, though? Hold on. Let's go back. You're right that it's an add-on, but did they announce that, like, initially, like, as a... well, if you believe this article from Oz Gamers, Seasons is coming. So, I don't know. Possibly. Don't know. FS 2004 to FSX? Yeah. It's in progress on their forums page. Yeah, no, I do remember them talking about it. I just don't know what, we'll keep this up on the screen here just to make it a little more interesting. It's, you can look at it two ways. You can look at it as right now, well, it's basically just going to be career mode, and we're going to get a new title, and inevitably all the add-ons we paid for are going to cost extra to upgrade them. If you want the glass half full approach to this, you could say it's a new title, and undoubtedly there's potential for more features to be released as part of it. So it's going to be basically, by the time we actually get the new title, there will be more updates there, right? There'll be more to it than just career mode, but we're kind of guessing in both cases. And they did confirm that MFS 2020 is going to exist for more than 10 years. Right. No, that's true, Hello World. But again, that's just means support. So, like, they'll make sure that when there's a new version of Windows in, 3 years from now, let's say, that the game will work for that. Supporting the game does not necessarily mean adding new features. It just means that the game will continue to operate in a manner in which it'll be supported. Like, it'll still work, if you will. Not necessarily innovate. In the same way that, well, I can't give you a good example. Never mind. Just end sentence. End thought. I never bought Rex AccuSeasons, but now I don't have to. Yeah, and I wouldn't buy it now if I were you either. Remember that flight sim from Dovetail? No, I do not. Yeah, it's true. Hello World points out, but they did the same in previous games like FSX 2004 to FS 2004 to FSX. Right. I mean, we just had such a giant gap between FSX and 2020 that it was just this fundamentally different game. But prior to that, it was like every couple of years, 2-3 years, you'd get a new sim. And now, granted, graphics back then moved a lot faster. Like, if you look at the graphics in FS98 versus 2000, 2004, FSX, like, you can see some big jumps there. But I'm not sure we'll necessarily see them here. Who knows? This will be a paid update, 100%. 100%. And if you add the moment... and if you add the moment not own the game, you're going to need to pay more. Yes. Oh, if they won't make you pay extra for planes we already bought. Oh, they will. Aviation. They will absolutely. Just based on history, I don't know this for a fact, but based on history, every single update, X-Plane 11, X-Plane 12, P3D versions, FSX, FS98 to FSX, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, they've always charged a nominal fee to upgrade. Whether it's a nominal fee like $10, or in some cases, like have to pay for it again, that remains to be seen. I forgot about FSX SE. I forgot about that version. Yeah. Listen, Nate, you could be right. I mean, it's too early to tell what the future holds for it. It's very interesting. And a big game add-on builder, Aerosoft, did buy multiple planes that are going to be added in the coming years. True. Yeah, I mean, we're pretty early in the stage here. What will happen next? I mean, I think we're going to get more updates, like more updates in the sense of more announcements, I should say, for, hey, we're going to, you know, this feature is coming to MFS 2024. I have no doubt we've seen some of the airplanes already, but they're going to announce more planes. They'll be like, hey, you're also going to be able to fly the, you know, we saw the A-10, we saw the helicopters and the gliders, and I'm sure they'll announce another airliner or two, something else to kind of, you know, build the hype there between now and the actual release date. Here's another good way to look at it, if you want to look at it this way. Maybe this won't help you sleep at night, but at the very least, Microsoft is still supporting the sim. It's not going to become abandonware like FSX was, and I think that's kind of interesting. Yeah, and I says, I wonder how PMDG will respond to this. They'll respond with, well, whenever we have the SDK, we can start, you know, we'll have support for it, but who knows when. Because remember, when Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 first came out, PMDG said, it came out in August, PMDG said they were going to release the 737 in, I believe, first quarter of 2021. That obviously didn't happen. That was more than a year later, but, you know, just a guess. Mr. Simpson says, it's Microsoft Flight Sim. They will certainly charge more. Kind of comes with the territory. I agree. Yes. And I said that earlier. It's kind of funny. Not funny, more like, but the more if you've been in Flight Sim for a number of years, you have become conditioned to new update means having to rebuy everything you already own. And listen, you could sit there and keep what you got. There's no reason you can't do that. But do you ever see people who fly like FSX still, or X-Plane 11 still, or P3D, and you look at them, you're like, oh God, you're still, I get it, you spent all that money on those add-ons, but sheesh, like, maybe it's time to move on. The corpse is cold. It's kind of what it feels like when you don't upgrade. They'll still be working on the EFB. Microsoft retweeted the PC Game Pass tweet. Okay. Yeah, let's go back to the Twitters. I don't know if there's any more I don't think we're getting any more like updates, like features, like, hey, something different. I would say if there is one thing, so we're adding like, you know, tornadoes, things like that. If there is a minor, extremely minor feature, I would love to see them put into the weather. There should be a consequence to flying into a storm. Right now in the game, if you fly your Phoenix A320, your PMDG 737 into a thunderstorm, nothing happens. You just get rain on your windshield. There's no reason to deviate unless you want to do it for the sake of realism in your brain. But there is nothing that makes it a problem from a simulator standpoint, and I would love for them to fix that. JCT. It's the first episode of the Hotch podcast, right? It would just be me yammering on and reading comments here, but hey, I think that counts. What's up, JCT? But who's gonna want to fly and gonna kill a fire? Not me. I hope more than VATSIM will be support. I don't think that Hello World so far. I don't think VATSIM is such a minor amount of users that I don't think they care. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind, Hello World. The fact that this was announced at Xbox Showcase, to me, says everything you need to know. about who the audience that Microsoft cares about. Not that that's a problem. I don't feel slighted by this as a non-Xbox user, but there is no doubt that Microsoft is looking where the money is, and the money is on the Xbox side rather than the JCT nerds of the world who fly on the PC side. So we'll see. I mean, I'm hopeful at the very least that we will get more than just this, that in the next few months we will get, by the way, in addition to the career modes, we're also going to have, I don't know, something else, something more compelling, more universal, if you will. Having missions make the sim have a bit of depth. Oh, absolutely. And Mr. Simpson, I mean, people like myself and Hello World and maybe some others like Nate, like we just play on VATSIM. We just fly on networks and that's it. But we're in the minority. Most people do exactly what you're talking about. That fire looked like it had PMDG animation FPS. I think that's an insult. Dresden, yeah, us Flight Simmer nerds are such a small percentage, to be honest. Dude, for anybody that's going to Flight Sim Expo next week or 2 weeks, whatever it is, if you're going to Expo, the online flying nerd segment is a small percentage of the small percentage of nerds that go to this thing. Most people that go to Flight Sim Expo are there because they are home cockpit flyers and they're there to like buy a new joystick or see what the new like piece of hardware is. Like flying on, they don't watch Twitch or YouTube. They don't fly on VATSIM. They just simply fly offline and kind of try to replicate as much as they can in the real world. PPL passed on Friday. Congratulations, JCT, dude. That's awesome, man. Good for you. Are you putting me in my own class of nerd? Indeed you are, Plato. Well, Plato, you're the nerd who flies online and then panic disconnects when something might go wrong. I think that we need to wait a few more days. Oh, absolutely. Yes. Not even days, Hello World. I think we need to wait like a few more months. I don't think we'll get a really good sense of the feature set for the new title until we get to like sometime in the spring of next year, I'm going to guess. I can assure you, if tornadoes have realistic effects, I'll be flying directly into the first one I see for science, of course. Oh, absolutely. But like right now, unless you fly like a Cessna into a hurricane, there really isn't much of an impact to your plane. Saturn, will I get to transfer my add-ons? Because I spent a lot of money on the sim. Yeah, I have no idea. My guess is no. My guess is you have to pay to upgrade them, but I have no idea. I don't think anybody knows the answer to that yet, Saturn. I have like 2 panic disconnects ever. That's overblown. I don't know. Let's ask Sheet about it. Did you read the description? They literally linked a game in the description. I did not. Where is it? Which description? Sorry, Hello World. Like it's in a tweet or something? Do we think early 24, summer 24, or late? I think it's gonna be late. Remember, JCT, FS 2020 came out in August of 2024. So, based on everything I know from Asobo, which is things are usually late, I'm not expecting it for another year. Knight, thanks for joining us here, buddy. Appreciate your comments and your thoughts because it really does help. I thank you on that one. You think you're getting it this year? No. Xbox? Hold the phone. Hold on. Xbox Twitter. None of these. What's Xbox like account? What do they? Is it just Xbox? I'm sure it is, right? Like this is Seattle or Southeast Asia. I mean. Let's see. Which tweet is it? In the new video of Microsoft. Okay, I gotta find that. Oh, here it is. I found it. Play the brand new sequel coming next year. It says coming next year, dude. Xbox PC games. Is that the name of their account? You will. I believe you. I just don't see it yet. Can you? I know you can't post a link in here. Darn it. Hold on. What's the? Just type the name of the account. The Xbox, the Twitter account, whatever it is, or PC Game Pass. Here's PC Game Pass coming next year. Let me go back to this one because there's just we've already seen that one. I don't know. Oh, there's a new article here. Let's see if there's anything in this article. Microsoft Flight Simulator 24. The Xbox Twitter account confirmed this is a brand new sequel to the series, answering the question of this being a strangely named DLC. The confusion stems originally from the announcement of what would be supported for 10 years. All right, so you all were right. I believed all of you that. Oh, Bill's Mafia. I'll check in a second. Sorry. So there's still 10 years, but this is a brand new sequel. The release of the sequel seems strangely timed. Many third-party projects are undergoing development and nearing releases, like the A380, PNG 7777. To this point, how do I say this? Nobody cares, but I say nobody, I mean Asobo doesn't care. I don't think that matters to them at all. There's been currently no indication of parity between the two software, and no safe way to assume that third-party add-ons have been prioritized for compatibility in the sequel. That I agree with. The video showcases many new activities. The FS News team notes that most, if not all, the airplane showcasing to be third-party add-ons available in the marketplace or currently under development. I'm pretty sure I pointed that out already. So I want some credit for this one. Anyway. While there's no still word from developers, maintain activity showcase. A lot of, yeah, I already saw that part. New airplane showcased in the video. Canada Air CL-415 aerial firefighter, A330 crop duster, A330 Beluga, Airbus A400M military transport, Astra 1, A10, Cirrus SR-22, blimps, and hot air balloons. All right, so most of this is pretty much the same stuff there. If only there was a Discord server that you could maintain, we could post links. Wouldn't that be amazing, JCT? If only somebody had told me to do that like 800 times. All right, I think we've beaten this to death at this point. Where's the tweet? Sorry, I know y'all asked me to do the tweet. One second. Where's the tweet? I think I missed it. Xbox. Just kidding. Hello. Flight Simulator. Have they deleted it? No. Sorry. I'm trying to find the original tweet from them. Oh, here it is. I found it. All right, and some of you said there was a reply. Unless it's this one. I think I'm missing it, whatever it is. I think they meant the SF50, which is already a third-party link. Oh, okay. Cirrus is already in the sim, correct. Yeah. Bill's Mafia, I don't see where you're referring to, unless like your first reply is different than my first reply. But yeah. Because the first reply is this dude who thinks it's epic. And this lady, who thinks it's a nice surprise. Unless I'm looking at the wrong tweet again, which is entirely possible. I don't know. I will say this, I've beaten this topic to death now. We'll leave it as is. More information to come soon, I hope. Thank you for joining us here. We'll have more information whenever the heck we have it. But I hope you all have a nice Sunday. Hope you have some food for thought. And yeah, we'll catch you on the next live stream, which I have no idea when it'll be. It might be a while, but we'll try our best. So anyway, have a great Sunday, everybody.